Hello everyone and welcome to TCI of Southern Maine Sports presentation of Game of the Week. Today from the Augusta Civic Center, it's Western Maine Class B quarterfinal round action as the number 2 York Wildcats play the number 7 Gorham Rams. Hi everyone, I'm Eric Nelson along with John Patton from the Civic Center. Just recently, Marshwood High School defeated Scarborough 56-53 in their quarterfinal round game. So the winner of this game will play Marshwood High School in the semifinals on Wednesday. And John, these two teams, York and Gorham, played during the regular season. Not a very pretty basketball game. York got off to a big lead, led 15-0 after the first quarter, really breezed from there and had an easy win.
Yeah, we saw it just a few weeks ago, Eric, and we expected a little better game from Gorham than we got. It was a total blowout. As you mentioned, they didn't even score in the first quarter. Never get into an offensive flow at all. Much too much dribbling against York's pressure, and as I say, just a total mismatch.
Yeah, really, I talked to Rick Clark just moments before the game, and he's going to do a lot of the same things he did in that first contest. He's going to pressure Gorham.
Well, Gorham had some potential, had some good size and some physical girls, but they just couldn't put the ball in the basket, and they did not handle the pressure at all. And because that was at York, and now we're here in Augusta, so you know it's a different day and a different place, so maybe that'll make a difference. But you know, at least based on that first game, it shouldn't even be close. Yeah,
John, you've coached in this tournament. I talked to Rick Clark about if he'd rather be number 1 or number 2 in this tournament. He said the only disadvantage being number 2 is you get a long break. You don't play until Monday. The number 1 team played on Friday. So he's going to play 3 games in 5 days if he makes it all the way to the Western Maine Championship. What are your feelings on playing on Monday?
Personally, I would rather play the 3 games in 5 days. I just think you stay sharp. It's the layups. At this point in the season, let's face it, you're not going to get a whole lot of better practicing an extra day or 2. So I think the concentrated games, he's better off. The 6 1 half doesn't have another.
Yeah,
you got to win up here. That's the bottom line.
That's the bottom line. It's 17-1 York against 9-9 Gorham. Let's go to our pre-tape segment now as we talk with head coach Rick Clark about today's game and the regular season, and we also introduce you to today's starting lineup. The York Wildcats are defending Class B champions, and they finished the 1992-93 regular season with a record of 17-1 and are the number 2 seed in the playoffs. Tonight, York faces the 7th-seeded Gorham Rams in the quarterfinals. Let's meet tonight's starting lineup. At point guard is junior Jessica Martell. During the regular season, Martell averaged 5 points per game and 2.1 assists per game. Starting at the other guard position is senior Jonna Weaver. During the regular season, she averaged 6.7 points per game and 2.6 assists per game. Starting at one of the forward spots is junior Molly McDonald. During the regular season, she averaged 5.3 points per game and 5.1 rebounds. And at the other forward position is junior Andrea Little. Little was first on the team in scoring at 14.7, first in assists at 4.1, and second in rebounding at 11.2 per game. And starting at the center spot is junior Joanna Brown. She led the team in rebounding with 11.9 boards a game and was second in scoring at 14 per game. And the head coach of the Wildcats in his 11th season is Rick Clark. I talked to him about the regular season and tonight's matchup with Gorham. Rick, comment on the regular season for me. 17-1, you're the number 2 seed, your only loss coming to Kennebunk next to last game of the season. How did the season go in your mind, and how are you playing right now?
Well, I think the season went pretty well overall. I felt coming down the stretch that we weren't playing quite as aggressively, we weren't as focused as we had been most of the season. I think we'd already started looking ahead a little bit to the tournament and going through the motions more or less, and the Wells game didn't wake us up, even though we didn't play very well, and then we got in the Kennebunk game, and as John Weaver described, it was a real slap in the face. And since that point, the next game, the scrimmage we had this week, and the practices, I think have come back more into focus, and we're back to where we were when we were playing well, I think.
The tournament field itself, a lot of people comment about the tournament, Rick, and they say that it should be you and Kennebunk in the Western Maine final. I mean, is it that clear cut? Is it just 2 teams?
Well, I think the danger is looking at what it looks like on paper as opposed to what it is in reality. A lot of times the number 1 and 2 teams never make it to the finals. Everyone up there is starting at 0-0. 8th place team has a good game, the 1st place team doesn't. they win. You only get one shot. So I don't think that's fair to say. On paper, maybe, but in actuality, it's any one of the 8 teams could have a good streak and win. You got to win 3.
Gorham is your opponent in the quarterfinals. They're the number 7 seed. You beat them by 16 during the year here. Shut them out in the first quarter, 15-0. What are we going to see in the quarterfinals?
Well, I think it wasn't a typical Gorham game, first of all. We caught them a little flat. We played very well and put them out of the game early. But I don't think we look at it that way. The team itself has played Gorham many times before. Some of these girls have played Gorham a lot of games. They know the Gorham team can play well when they're on. So they also play us very physical. We don't forget those kind of things. We know that they're a tough team. So I think mentally we'll be prepared. Hopefully we won't have a letdown. We're going to have to play good ball and do to them what we did in the preseason the first time, I hope.
Yeah, how much does experience play into this, Rick? Defending state champions, these girls have played a lot of games on this court.
I think it's a factor in our favor, no question. They know how to win. They've been all the way. A lot of these girls were in that experience, I think 8 of them, in fact, and it's going to be to our benefit, I think. But again, we've got to start well and play our type of game throughout the first game, and then we'll worry about other stuff afterwards.
Well, good luck to you, Rick.
Thank you.
Back at the Civic Center, the opening tap between York and Gorham is just moments away. John and I will be back with that opening tap in just a minute.
If you live in York County and want local sports coverage, nobody does it better than the Journal-Tribune. We do more local sports than anyone, and we do it better. The Journal-Tribune is in your community every day with local sports stories. Stories about your family, your friends, your neighbors, and your favorite team. Local sports, nobody does it better than the Journal-Tribune.
Basketball, Sports Stop, equipment that's designed for winning, racquetball, soccer, kick, you can score all this and more. Sports Stop.
It's season for sports, and Sports Stop is ready. We carry a large selection of sports equipment and accessories, so you don't have to go from store to store to find what you're looking for.
Here at Sports Stop, we're game for sports. Sports Stop.
Number 22, Kate Scott.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Civic Center in Augusta for Western Maine Class B quarterfinal round action for the girls. Eric Nelson with John Patton high above courtside. Some of the reserves for Gorham High School being introduced now. We will go down to the starting lineups in just a moment. This is the 3rd of 4 quarterfinal round games for the girls. Kennebunk defeated Gray on Friday, 74-41. Greeley defeated Mountain Valley 48-45. So Greeley and Kennebunk will meet in one of the semifinals. The other semifinal matchup will pit the winner of this game against Marshwood High School, which earlier this afternoon or this morning defeated Scarborough 56-53. So this is the final of the girls' quarterfinal round games. York at 17-1, Gorham at 9-9.
Number 22, Nicole DeForge.
I couldn't believe too, Eric, if there is a home court advantage up here, York's got it. They've been here an awful lot the last few years.
Number 24, Samantha Demaray. Number 25,
Rick Clark, an impressive record up here over the years.
Number 30,
Defending state champion, York High School.
and number 31, Tracy Yinkst.
And the remainder of the reserves have been introduced, and we are ready to get to the starters. And now let's go down to courtside.
For Gorham at forward, number 42, a 5'9" junior, Susan Walsh. For York at forward, number 11, a 5'9" junior, Molly McDonald. For Gorham at forward, number 30, a 5'8" senior, Michelle Stone. At forward for York, number 20, 5'10" junior, Andrea Little. At center for Gorham, number 44, a 5'10" senior, Betsy Moon. For York, at center number 32, a 6'1" junior, Joanna Brown. At guard for Gorham, number 20, a 5'2" sophomore, Jen Ward. At guard for York, number 12, a 5'6" junior, Jessica Martell. At guard for Gorham, number 24, a 5'5" freshman, Julie Plant. And at guard for York, number 21, a 5'6" senior, Shauna Weaver. The Gorham coach is Patrick O'Shea. The York coach is Rick Clark.
Okay, the starting lineups have been introduced here at the Civic Center in Augusta. Pat O'Shea in his 7th year as head coach of Gorham High School. Rick Clark in his 11th year as head coach of the Wildcats. Graphically, let's take a look once again at the starting lineups of both of these ball clubs. The guards for Gorham High School, Jen Ward and Julie Plant. The forwards are Michelle Stone and Susan Walsh, and your center is Betsy Moon. For York High School, it is Jessica Martell and Jonna Weaver at the guards. Molly McDonald and Andrea Little at the forwards, and Joanna Brown is your center. York in the white uniforms, Gorham in the dark uniforms. And we are ready to get underway. Much better day today than it was on Friday, John, when we came up for the boys' game.
Well, I didn't even make it up, so. Well, that boys' side has seen some upsets, hasn't it?
Boy, the 2, 3, and 4 seeds have lost in the boys' tournament.
That's the thing. That's why in our opening, you know, I'm saying this shouldn't even be a game, but you never know what's going to happen up here.
Joanna Brown wins the tap, and York will start with the basketball.
And Gorham's come out man-to-man, and I felt they might come out in a zone today.
Brown dished into Weaver, and she draws the quick foul. York's a tough matchup man-to-man, John.
Yeah, Joanna Brown and Andrea Little, it kind of about 21 points that first game. And I don't know if Gorham's got anyone that can handle those two. Not on a man-to-man basis.
Jonna Weaver, lone senior starter on this team at the free throw line.
You know, sometimes the point's a little hard to come by in the opening. You've got the nerves coming into play, and there's one.
Gets the second one to fall, and York goes ahead here 1-0.
And here's the pressure that Gorham just couldn't handle that first game at York.
They're having trouble getting it over in 10 seconds. And a near steal by Andrea Little.
Yeah, I felt that, as I said in the opening, Gorham dribbled far too much against that pressure.
So the Rams once again to put it in play. The point guard is going to be Jen Ward, 5'2" sophomore.
Good pressure.
Okay, foul called. I think it's on Martell.
Number 21, Jonna Weaver.
No, Jonna Weaver. First on her. So we played 30 seconds. York leading 1-0 on the free throw by Weaver. And it will stay Gorham ball. Very decent Monday afternoon crowd, the lunch crowd here for this quarterfinal. Ward from three-point land. High rebound comes to Brown. York does have a size advantage. Betsy Moon, the biggest player for Gorham out there at 5'10".
Nice pass.
Andrea Little gets her own rebound.
Something about Andrea Little, she'll always follow her shot. She gets a lot of rebounds that way, a lot of second shots.
Try to go into Brown. Quick turnaround off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Moon.
Gorham had Sue Waltz wide open under the basket that time and didn't pass her the ball, and we saw that a lot also. They had several break opportunities in that first game they didn't take advantage of.
Rams almost turning it over, kept alive by Walsh. Gorham has taken just one shot here in the first minute and a half. Stone back out to Ward for another three-pointer, and she hits that one.
Jen Ward for three.
And Gorham takes a 3-1 lead. Excuse me, yes, 3-1 lead, right, John?
3-1, that's correct.
Yes, okay, the scoreboard is incorrect. They've been working on that scoreboard all week, trying to work out the bugs. A new scoreboard here this year,
I was going to say, I'm used to the old one. I've been coming up here for years, and I'm going to miss that one, I think. It's going to take some getting used to.
Foul is on number 24, Julie Plant.
Foul is on Julie Plant. That is the team's second foul as York inbounds the ball. Again, Gorham staying in that man-to-man 2 minutes into this one. And
nice
a jump ball.
Julie Plant tying up Joanna Weaver.
And again, York will go with the full court man pressure.
Rick Clark will do this. He'll almost put token pressure on and just scoop up some loose balls.
Big pickup there, and 3-point field goal. Yes, another one. This time it's Plant.
Julie Plant with 3.
It's like Gorham's committed. It says 6 points took him to about midway in the second quarter to get that many last time these two teams played.
Brown missing. It'll stay York basketball.
That's pretty much an unforced turnover there, Eric. Not a lot of pressure by the Wildcats. Gorham just threw it away.
Plant stepping on the out-of-bounds line. 6-1 Gorham. A little bit of a surprise. York led 15-0 after the first quarter in the meeting between the two teams during the year. It was game 12 of the season. Andrea Little from the
nice ball
baseline.
movement.
Andrea Little.
They met back on January 14th. A 45-29 win for York.
Nice pass there. Couldn't handle the pass to Walsh, but it was the right idea.
Oh, and that is the second turnover. You see some of the crowd on hand in the York side of things. As we passed under the 5-minute mark left here in the first quarter. York trailing it by 3. They are the number 2 seed. Second straight year they've finished the regular season at 17-1. Andrea Little in the paint.
Nice left hand.
Left-handed, rebounded by Walsh. Loose ball.
Nice play.
And Joanna Brown finishes it.
Is that Little again from the floor?
That is Little again from the floor. Joanna Brown making the basket.
Nice pass.
Well, Little knocks
Little
it
on
away.
the defensive side.
Boy, and then gets a hip thrown at her. And we have a foul called against Sue Walsh.
Foul is on Susan Walsh.
Her twin sister, Christine Walsh, Jr., also on this Gorham team. And that's 3 team fouls against Gorham, and we get our first substitution. It is Christine Walsh, number 21. 6-5 Rams. Little from the elbow. Joanna Brown fighting for the rebound. It'll stay York ball.
She kept it alive. I'll tell you, York's going to own the boards here. I really think Gorham would be a lot better off going zone.
Oh, rebounding him so far 4-2. Little lobs into Weaver, doesn't draw the foul, gets her own rebound, and then picks it up. Now you mentioned, John, even Joanna Weaver at 5'6" is getting offensive rebounds.
Foul is on number 44, Betsy Moon. Her second personal foul, the team's 4th. At the line shooting 2, Joanna Weaver.
There's 2 fouls on the big girl, too.
Joanna Weaver averaging 6 points a game for the Wildcats. 1 for 3 from the line tonight. She got poked over the left eye. So pretty much gone away now, but I think when they scrimmaged Sockerbie Valley on Wednesday of last week, John, she got hit, kind of swelled up a little bit on her, but not affecting her. She's out there. Misses both free throws, but the Wildcats get the rebound. Weaver again. Boy, she's been tough, John. No foul on the play.
She is again.
And a jump ball.
Ties up the rebounder. There again, it's a good, you know, some of the younger kids watching this broadcast, a big girl underneath brings it down, and that's what's going to happen. You're going to get tied up every time. Got to keep that ball up.
3:53 left first quarter. Gorham still leading by a point. York's had their shots.
Nice pass.
Haven't gotten them to fall. Andrea Little can't get the bounce. And it's rebounded by Plant.
There it is. Nice pass.
Ward, a little too far for Walsh.
Yeah, Walsh doesn't have the best hands in the world, at least early here. And she's on the end of that break a lot.
That is turnover number 5 for Gorham. You see Rick Clark, John Carmichael, a brain trust for York High School. Joanna Brown in the paint, blocked, gets her own rebound, puts it back in.
It's her second hoop.
They break the pressure once again. Here's Stone out into the corner.
A 3. I guess that was a 2, but
on the line, little the rebound.
Gorham's really looking for that outside shot. They've almost totally abandoned the inside game here early anyway.
Yeah, 2 of their 4 shots have been 3-pointers. That was right on the line. Brown open along the wing into McDonald. In and out of her hands.
Is the break.
Oh, nice knockdown by Weaver. Slips on the court. Well, we play a little sloppy in the offensive end for Gorham. Traveling. Substitution, Susan Walsh back in for Gorham. Boy, and all the numbers adding up for York here in the first quarter. Rebounding Gorham 7-4. Gorham's got 6 turnovers. York has 2 unofficially. As we see for York coming into the ball game, 5'9" senior Kathleen Byrne, number 30.
Yeah, I gotta believe Coach O'Shea of Gorham's got to be pretty pleased at this point to be only down 1.
Weaver draws the foul, I think, before the shot. We also see Bethany Gora, by the way, number 50, a 5'4" senior for Gorham, has come in for the Rams. And that's not a shooting foul, so
Number 50, Bethany Gora.
the foul is against Gora, and that is the 5th team foul against the Rams. Weaver underneath.
Oh, nice job of using her body that time. She was caught under the basket, and
well, she's played real well here in the first quarter, John. Defensively and offensively.
Well, you know, she's a senior out there. She knows this is it for her, so.
She's trying to return again to that state championship feeling, huh? 9-6, York leading by 3, 2:10 left first quarter. Again, the Wildcat pressure. Stone dribbles through it and then throws it away. They haven't been able to finish, John. They've gotten past half court, 3/4 court, and can't finish.
Very, very reminiscent of the first game at York.
And she was tipped by a York player, so Gorham will keep possession of the ball. A tough time getting it into Gora. That will be York. Basketball, 7 first quarter turnovers for Gorham. Just passed under the 2-minute mark with York up by 3. Hope you're enjoying our 3-camera coverage here from the Civic Center in Augusta.
Oh, nice.
Andrea Little, no foul on the play. Drew the ire of the York fans, and Little says, well, I'm just going to steal it back, and she almost does.
Gorham would do well not to get her upset, I think. Just keep it quiet. Nice shot there. That's the first offense I've seen from Gorham in 1+ game, I guess.
Christine Walsh on the basket. And Gorham picks up the York turnover. They try to run with it, and it's turned right back over to the Wildcats. York up by 1, 9-8. Martell running the point for York. Gora on Weaver. Andrea Little doesn't get the roll. McDonald's there for the rebound, and it'll go to Gorham. And for the first time in the ball game, we see number 24, 5'4" senior Samantha Demaray.
York's using a lot of players here early.
We saw Rick Brault do that in the boys' game, too, Johnny. Get these players into the game,
that's right.
Get them used to it.
Especially in an opener like this.
Kate Scott, 5'3" sophomore, number 22, is coming for Gorham. So both coaches, O'Shea and Clark, going to the bench in the first quarter. Less than 45 seconds left. It'll be a turnover. Walsh couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, that's Sue Walsh doesn't handle those hard passes very well. And it's too bad because she's been open several times.
Susan Westerbrook, number 43, is into the ball game. Also 5'9" junior for Gorham. So both teams, I believe, going 8 or 9 deep here in the first quarter.
See if York plays for one here, Eric.
And 22 seconds left. York's dominated everything but the score here in the first quarter.
But the score.
A little give and go, a little big pickup in the paint, and she draws the foul on Plant.
I believe that's her second foul too.
And that'll put them, and that will put them one foul away from the bonus situation. Andrew Little will put it in play to Weaver. A little off the glass.
Nice hoop there at the end of the quarter.
And that ends the first quarter of action here from the Civic Center in Augusta. And the scoreboard, again, reading an incorrect score. We'll try to give you the right one. I believe it is 11-8 as we end the first quarter of play. They'll have to fix that scoreboard bug, but we'll be back with the second quarter in just a moment, taking a look at the Star Mountain Motor scoreboard. York leading it here by 3 after 1, 11-8.
For most people, the atmosphere at Litchfield's is a quiet, relaxing experience. Pleasurable decisions made in a pleasant atmosphere. A leisurely attention to detail. And in Litchfield's Lounge, meet and share an intimate moment with friends. And of course, our staff is there for you. Litchfield's, Route 1 Wells.
Babies love being born at York Hospital. All of these babies did. Mothers love it too. At York Hospital, there are no surprises for mother or baby. When you come to the hospital to give birth, there are no strangers taking care of you. No change in shift personnel, people you have never met or seen before. When you have a baby at York Hospital, you're cared for by your nurses, ones who have shared your pregnancy, your delivery, and are there for you after delivery. Your doctor and your nurses, who know you, your concerns, and your desires, will be on hand at this most important time of your life. All of these beautiful babies were born at York Hospital. Why not yours? We invite you to call us and learn more about our unique birthing program, designed to meet the needs and desires of mothers, babies, and the entire family. Why not make York Hospital your hospital? York Hospital, just across the bridge from New Hampshire.
Welcome back to the Civic Center in Augusta. Eric Nelson with John Patton. 11-8 as we start the second quarter of play. Scoreboard has been fixed, so everyone here at the Civic Center knows the right score. Gorham with the ball to start the second quarter. And Martell ties up Westerbrook, and it's going to be York basketball.
And Westerbrook again brought the ball down, Eric. That can turn a 6-foot girl into a 5'5" girl awfully quick.
Big turnover advantage for York in the first quarter of play. Gorham had 9 turnovers, York with just 3. But they both commit turnovers here early on.
Yeah, I don't see that Gorham really has done a whole lot since that first game in terms of breaking the pressure and working on that. That's a good example right there.
They've had trouble holding on to the basketball.
Exactly. Ball handling is really suspect. Nice move.
Brown, a little strong. Andrea Little the rebound. Doesn't go. So Gorham with a chance to cut it to a 1-point lead. Oh, and they do dribble a lot, John. Here's Weaver.
Much too much. They're holding the ball too long. York's taking advantage of it.
Weaver, strong to the basket, draws the foul.
It's Michelle Stone's first.
Fouls on number 30, Michelle Stone.
And that's going to put York
First, the team's
into the bonus situation. That's a 7th team foul, but of course this is a shooting foul. So Weaver, the lone senior starter.
Good troubles from the line so far. Here we go. 2 for 5.
It's the best looking free throw she's had as one of those other 4 seniors comes into the game. Andrea Johansson, number 15.
That's the thing that impresses me about this York club is how young they are. Most of the key players are juniors, and we haven't seen Tiffany Chapman yet, the freshman.
They're a young basketball team, no doubt about that. Again, they try the fast break, and it will go over to York. So already Gorham has committed 4 turnovers in the first 51 seconds of the second quarter.
Yeah, and York should be able to take some real advantage of that foul situation too. They should be going to the line quite a bit.
Joanna Brown with the ball. Johansson playing point. Actually 3 seniors on the court for York here. 4th senior we haven't seen is Nicole DeForge.
Joanna Brown underneath that basket. I don't think Rick Clark wants to dribble. It's not turning into a point guard yet.
No. Wildcats using the clock here.
There we go.
And Brown trying to dish to Weaver, but she wasn't there.
Nice idea. It was.
And again, the full court pressure by York. Over the last 4 years, the Wildcats a 9-3 tournament record over the last 4 years. As you saw for a moment there, some of the innovative things that our director Bob Gould is doing here today, and that's putting the shot clock or the game clock in your screen, keeping track of what's going on.
We got a kid at Christmas with a new toy, isn't he?
I think so. I think so. He didn't have a chance to do it on Friday when he called the boys game with me, so he's having some fun. Air ball from the free throw line by Plant.
York's running here.
Weaver.
Oh, nice play.
Didn't finish. Demaray, big rebound, draws the foul.
Nice break by York that time, Eric. Tell you, these kids with the rebounding strength they have can really put together a nice running game. They get it in gear.
Second foul on Susan Walsh.
Personal foul number 2. At the line, shooting 2, Samantha Demaray.
And Sam Demaray, senior, at the free throw line. Right in.
A lot of confidence in that shot. Pretty deliberate foul. She just steps right up there. And oops, didn't get that one.
A little too strong. The rebound comes down to Gorham. So York has taken 8 free throws to Gorham's none here in the first half. Gora.
Yeah, Gorham's having a hard time with this man-to-man pressure too.
Andrea Little to reach in. That is just the second foul against York in this half. Little and Weaver both have 1 foul.
Andrea Little, personal foul number 1, team foul number 2.
Winner of this game to play number 3 Marshwood on Wednesday.
Nice block.
Well, there's a block shot by Little. Brown with the rebound. (13-8) Wildcats. 5:35
Oh,
left.
nice pass.
Brown, no.
Joanna Weaver had a nice pass into Brown that time. Really rocketed it right through the key.
There's a trap. Jump ball will stay with Gorham. And Molly McDonald in, and Julie Plant back in. Steve Twombly operating our camera on the floor. Randy Taylor up top. I'd like to once again thank State Cable out of Augusta, Channel 9, and Andrew Collar and his crew for allowing us to use his equipment for our tournament broadcast this year.
Well, it works out great.
Yeah, it works out well for both parties, I think. There you see the clock and the time remaining.
Gorham did a good job of getting back that time. I think York wanted to run and really couldn't.
Little missing. Rebound to Stone. So Gorham doing a little bit better job in rebounding here in the second quarter. Stone off the back of the rim. Picked up by Walsh.
It's the 3.
Boy, Ward, the long 3. From the baseline, off the mark by Stone. Boy, they keep getting him back.
Oh, right to Little.
And here comes York. Weaver at the other end. Draws the foul. John Weaver. Boy, making a living at the free throw line here.
Yeah, probably a good foul in that situation.
Foul is on number 20.
That had 2 written all over it.
Personal foul number 1.
And we get timeout on the court with 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in the first half of play. York leading it by 5, 13-8. Stick around. John and I will be back after these messages with the rest of the first half.
Joann's Gardens, Route 9 in Wells, is your full-service florist. Joann's has a large variety of green and flowering houseplants, along with a large selection of cut flowers. With 28 years in the business, the Farley family has always provided the personal touch, from fruit baskets, balloons, and stuffed animals to custom-ordered silk-dried or fresh flower arrangements. No matter what the season, Joann's Gardens has all the items needed to brighten your day or someone else's. Located across from the Maryland Ridge Restaurant on Route 9 in Wells, Joann's Gardens, where your satisfaction is guaranteed.
Day in and day out, all through life, having the right partner can help. If you're looking for the right banking partner for your life, come to Mid-Maine Savings Bank in Sanford. Mid-Maine is a sound bank with a hometown touch, and we'd like to be a partner in your future.
Mid-Maine Savings Bank, we're partners in your future.
209 Main Street, Sanford, and Route 109 South Sanford. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Civic Center. The white-haired gentleman who's stretching back and taking a breather here during the timeout, John, is Bob Butler of York and his wife Gertrude next to him, and he is a fixture at the scorer's table right there.
He is a fixture with a capital F, I think. He's,
doesn't miss one.
I've had that man as a chemistry teacher. He was athletic director when I went to York, and I don't know as I respect anyone more than that individual right there. He's just a great guy.
At the line for York, number 21.
Of course, keeps the heel points for the state of Maine. He and his wife, girls and boys. They've done that for, gosh, 20 years now, 30 years. They've done it for a number of years now, John. And he's here at Augusta. And John and Weaver back at the free throw line for York.
She's 2 for 7 from the line. She could really do some damage there. A little bit off on her foul shot.
York as a team just shooting 50% from the line. And she's short on that one, but York's able to get the offensive rebound, and Andrea Little.
Again.
Again. Weaver tries it the other way. Can't get it. A little missing. And what do we got? York basketball.
See, even when the Wildcats aren't getting the rebound clean, they're getting a hand on it and keeping it alive.
And Weaver gets a nice break. Just 4 points, John, but she's played well through the first quarter.
Yeah, she has. Very aggressive. Couple of steals. She tied up a couple girls for jump balls. A little bit of trouble from the foul line, but she's got to feel pretty good with that quarter and a half so far.
Well, Andrea Little, they call traveling. So York now with Jess Martell back in the game, have Martell and Johansson at the guard position. Again, the pressure.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to see York stay right in this. It's working. Why not leave it on?
Hey, Johansson
nice
at
rebound.
5 feet tall getting the rebound. That's just good positioning, John.
Well, no one over there for Gorham on a weak side, which you don't have to be very tall if there's no one over there to rebound it.
Well, Andrea Johansson only has 5 rebounds all
what a
year.
pass.
Brown.
That's a tough pass to make. You got Joanna Brown being fronted, and Andrea Little passes it over and just threads the needle on that one. And she does a little bit of everything.
Gorham breaking the pressure.
Oh, nice pass.
A little wraparound underneath to Susan Walsh.
Yeah, Julie Plant with an excellent pass.
It took them almost 5 minutes, but Gorham finally scores here in the second quarter. There's Andrea Little.
You know, as much as York's dominated this game, Eric, we're still looking at a 13-10 score. Just seems to me about 23-10 would be a little more like it. That scoreboard's not.
Andrea Little from outside. And York will keep possession of the basketball. York just hasn't gotten their shots to fall. It's as simple as that.
Out of bounds. No? I thought she was on the line.
York is unofficially, John, quick calculations, 5 for 24 from the field. So they're shooting less than 25%.
Yeah, fortunately, they're controlling the rebounds and getting the turnovers, so that's negates the shooting a little bit.
Foul trouble certainly not a problem. That's the first one against Andrea Johansson, and that is team third.
Always a little scary up here, though, Eric, when a team, you know, quote unquote, hangs around. You know, you don't put them away. You're dominating the game, but you're not dominating the scoreboard, and that's, you know, as the game progresses and we get later and later, if Gorham can stay close, you know, stranger things have happened. You can ask John Casey at Cape Elizabeth Boys.
There's a nice little dish inside to Walsh.
That's a nice pass.
And the PA announcer lets us know it. You can hear that. 13-12 in favor of York. 2:20 left here in the first half. Little off the mark. Boy, gets her own rebound yet again.
Oh, head Joanna Brown. Should have fed her that time. I'd like to see this club use Brown more.
A traveling violation against York.
I think there's times they can get the ball into Brown when they don't. You know, you've got a weapon like that offensively underneath, and you've got to get her the ball.
Timeout on the court, as this is a one-point ball game. You see the Gorham bench kind of excited there as they go to their huddle. Like you said, John, stranger things have happened, and Gorham's hanging in there.
Yeah, of course, if you're Rick Clark, obviously you're not panicked yet. You've not much doubt you're the better team, but you know, the best team doesn't always win, and particularly up here, you know, the tournament pressure and so forth. So I think Coach O'Shea's got to be just thrilled at this point with 2 minutes left in the half to be down only one basket, 1 point.
And these at halftime of the last game, it was actually 14-10, I believe, so it was kind of close there too. But these two teams have met in the playoffs over the years. In 1989, Gorham beat York in the Western Maine Championship, and again in 1990 they beat York in the Western Maine Championship. So these two teams have some playoff history.
Yeah, Gorham's got a nice program. He's up here year in and year out. It seems this year he doesn't have quite the quality that he's had in the past.
They were 12-6 just a year ago. Less than 2 minutes left. Pressure bothering Gorham.
Didn't get it over.
10 seconds.
Boy, I tell you, as a coach, that's what you like to see, is that 10-second call. That means your girls are working real hard on defense.
13-12. Big basket by Joanna Brown.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the first game was that close at halftime. But now that I recall,
no, it couldn't have been, John. That's right. That was the second quarter score. It was 29-10 at halftime.
Yeah,
I stand corrected. Joanna Brown makes a three-point play. So York now up by 4, 16-12. So it was 29-10. Halftime of that game. Blocked.
Brown came out and got that one.
Oh, it's getting physical.
A little bit of contact there, I guess. Brown's a big girl and she doesn't move a lot, but she was definitely hit a couple times.
York will keep the ball with 1:32 left in the half. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, unofficial halftime statistics. And take a look at the rest of the tournament for you.
Gorham, a little pressure here. It's starting to pay off.
And they whistle a foul that time on Susan Walsh, so that is her third.
Foul is on number 42, Susan Walsh, personal foul number 3.
And it's bonus time for York. They've been in the bonus since early in the second quarter. So they're going to be going to the free throw line as we see Betsy Moon come back into the game.
York, shooting 1-1, number 11, Molly McDonald.
And McDonald at the free throw line to shoot 1-1.
Yeah, good move by O'Shea, too, getting Walsh out of there. There's only 1:27 left. Don't want her picking up that fourth. Ooh, bad pass there.
Brown draws the foul.
Pay the price on that one. You don't want to pass it across the key right under the basket.
See who the foul is whistled on. As Gorham's racking up the fouls here. Christine Walsh, her first.
At the line for 2, Joanna Brown.
Brown with 7 here in the first half goes to the free throw line. York's leading rebounder at 11.9 a game and second in scoring at 14 points a game. She's halfway there already as she misses the free throw. Second one is good. 8 for her, and this is York's biggest lead, 17-12. Martell, the steal. McDonald keeps it alive. Weaver makes the basket.
Shauna Weaver.
6 points for Weaver. Well, York's done some damage in the last 2 minutes. Gorham, since that timeout, looked like they had a little momentum going.
6-point run for York. Here's McDonald. Gets blocked. And what do we got? Foul on Martell. That will be her second. Still no bonus for Gorham. That's just 5 team fouls against York.
Foul number 12, Jessica Martell. Personal foul number 2, team foul number 5.
So Gorham will put it in play. Michelle Stone against the pressure. 53 seconds left.
Oh, could have a break here.
Oh, Andrea Little with a steal.
That's where your teammates have to help you out and let you know someone's coming up behind you. This pass.
McDonald gets her own rebound. Gets it blocked.
Well, Gorham needs a hoop here, Eric.
30 seconds left. Traveling. Boy, unofficially, that's the 20th Gorham turnover in the first half.
You know you're in trouble. You have more turnovers than points.
Yeah, yeah.
It's not a good day, let's say.
19-12 in favor of York. 28 seconds remaining. First half.
Sure, we'll see York try for last shot here. Unless they get the break, which it looks like they might have.
They broke it easily, John. Weaver.
Nice
draws
job.
The foul.
She's doing an excellent job of taking it to the basket, I'll tell you.
It's been that easy for her in the first half.
Yeah.
I mean, this will be a 5th trip to the line as the foul's on Betsy Moon.
Betsy Moon. Personal foul number 3. At the line for York shooting 2, Shauna Weaver.
Both Walsh and Moon now 3 for Gorham. Well, I'll tell you, things were looking good 2 minutes ago, but right now they're in some trouble. Could be a long second half.
Weaver with 6 points in the ball game. That is her season average.
Tell you, he's got to get that foul shot down. 2 for 9 to this point. You know, if she's going to take the ball to the hoop like she's been doing, she's going to go to the line a lot. Really struggling.
I think her confidence has been hit, John, and that's a tough thing because you keep wondering what you're doing wrong when you try anything at the line.
That's right. So much psychological.
But still, she's played a great half, regardless. As you see the time left, down to 12 seconds. Penetration and the
nice shot
made by Stone.
Michelle Stone.
It's her first basket. Quick steal. Wouldn't have counted if it had gone, but the basket by Stone cuts the lead to 5. So York dominates in almost every category. Yet Rick Clark and his team will walk into the locker room, John, leading 19-14.
Yeah, I think basically you just come out and do the same exact thing. You know, their shots will start to fall, and it shouldn't even be a game in the second half. But this is Augusta.
Never know what happens. John and I will be back with our halftime stats in just a moment, taking a look at the Star Mountain Motor scoreboard. At halftime, it's the Wildcats leading the Rams 19-14.
Come on, let the good times roll at Bowlerama. 20 lanes of candlepin bowling for all ages. Bowlerama has men's, women's, mixed, and junior leagues. Every Friday evening, it's Rock and Roll Bowl, where strikes turn into instant cash. Come on, let the good times roll. Plan your next party at Bolorama. The transportation's on us.
You've seen Ken Plord at Biddeford football games for years. Now you can see Ken at his California paint store, York County Paint and Supply.
This is what I've got on my own house, and it's been on my own house for almost 9 years now. I've had California strictly on my house. They put their reputation in the can, and once you're a California dealer, you don't want to be anything else.
We guarantee you'll be back, not only for the paint, but for Ken Plord's expert service. York County Paint and Supply, 418 Elm Street, Biddeford.
Generally, when I've got a customer, they come back.
If you have been subjected to whiplash injury, contact the Merrill Clinic of Chiropractic, Route 1 in Wells. Dr. Merrill and his staff are trained to detect and correct these problems and restore the neck to normal function. It is not unusual for whiplash symptoms to occur days or even weeks after an injury. So visit the Merrill Clinic of Chiropractic today.
Back at the Civic Center in Augusta, our score at halftime on TCI of Southern Maine Sports is 19-14. Wildcats lead it by 5. I'm Eric Nelson with John Patton and crew. And John, time to take a look at our halftime statistics.
Eric, Gorham field goals 6 for 16 for 38%. York 7 for 31 for 23%. So that's been York's problem, is putting the ball in the basket. Rebounding, actually Gorham was down early, and they came back there in the second quarter. Rebounding edge to York 20-17, so that's not too much of an advantage, but it really jumps out at you when you look at the turnovers. Gorham with 20 turnovers in that first half, and York with 8. And that's a big difference right there. You can shoot pretty poorly if the other team's turning it over that much to you, and still, enjoy, as we said, a 5-point lead. Yeah. And the other thing that really jumps out is York's foul shooting has got to improve. What do we got? 5 for 16. What's that? 31%. So that's something that's, that can catch up with you in a close game.
Certainly a big advantage going to the line 16 times. Gorham did not go to the line.
Could have done a lot of damage there and didn't.
In the first half. Let's take a look at the scoring in the first half of play. Not much scoring from the Gorham side. Susan Walsh with 4, Ward and Plant with 3 for York. Joanna Brown with 8, Jonna Weaver with 6. Both had good halves. Foul trouble. Couple of Gorham girls in trouble. Walsh and Moon both with 3, 2 others with 2. For York, nobody in foul trouble. They only had 5 team fouls in the first half. Jessica Martell with 2 and 3 other players with 1. So it looked like York had started to pull away a little bit toward the end of the half, John. They built up that 7-point lead before Gorham hit the last second shot at the end of the half. So it's kind of like eventually they're going to break open.
I was sitting up here just saying it's just a matter of time. They're definitely the better team. But we don't want Gorham to hang around too long either, because then, a freak shot at the end of something and you go home early. So see if they can put them away early here in the next 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay, John and I will be back with the start of the second half in this Western Maine quarterfinal in just a moment. York leads it at halftime, 19-14.
At Bonanza, we've turned over 50 million ribeyes, over 40 million T-bones, and over 20 million sirloins. But now we're turning 30. Celebrate Bonanza's 30th birthday with a sirloin filet dinner for just $5.99, including all the soups, salads, breads, and desserts you can eat. But you better hurry, because at $5.99, they're going fast. Bonanza, where turning 30 means a great deal for you.
We sure have a lot of these Pontiac Grand Ams, Dave.
Yes, we do. But Pontiac just came out with a $1,000 cash rebate, along with our own special discounts. And all these Grand Ams, we're in the best position to become Maine's #1 Pontiac dealer.
I like it.
Now is the time, folks. We've got the best selection, the best prices, so come on into Star Mountain Motors, Route 109 Sanford, and drive home today in your new Grand Am.
Wow, we are good.
Against the other teams, and the story plays out the way the story plays out. Our job is to be as accurate as we possibly can,
That may take some time, but certainly with all the talent around him, that this is a very powerful offense.
One of the problems is baseball has become a very quantitative sport, and that's how people are measured, that's how salaries are paid.
Hi everybody, and welcome to another edition of NEC TV 12 Sportline. I'm your host, Eric Nelson.
Start of the second half on TCI of Southern Maine Sports. Eric Nelson with John Patton. Girls Class B quarterfinal, York and Gorham.
Oh, nice backdoor.
Ward
didn't take advantage of it that time. Julie Plant had a nice pass backdoor to Ward, and she just couldn't put it in. Actually didn't get a shot off.
Kind of ran into the tall timber there and couldn't really do much. Weaver, not there. And a quick foul called. York, the number 2 seed, comes into this tournament 17-1. Gorham, the number 7 seed, at 9-9.
Foul is on number 32, Joanna Brown. Personal foul number 1.
First foul on Joanna Brown.
And that loss that York had too, Eric, we did that game against Kennebunk. It was late in the year and down at York. And at the time, I'm not so sure that was the worst thing in the world for these girls.
Moon underneath.
Tough coming up here with that unblemished record.
Which no team is, of course, because Kennebunk lost to York earlier in the season. The 1-2 seeds, both with 1 loss. Andrea Little off the front of the rim.
Nice board work, Joanna Brown.
Boy, again, they continue to have trouble shooting the basketball. And the ball will go to York.
I think that Kennebunk loss really sets up a nice final, assuming both teams can get there.
As we mentioned earlier, Kennebunk will play Greeley in one girls quarterfinal, and York, or the winner of this game, shouldn't jump the gun too much, will play Marshwood in the other semifinal on Wednesday.
Greeley might be a sleeper too. We saw them at Wells earlier in the year. Nice shot. And they're a physical team. Didn't have a real great record. Right offhand, I don't know, 8 or 9 losses, I think, something like that, 7 losses. But you know, they could potentially do some damage.
1916, York up by 3, just over a minute into the second half of play. Andrea Little goes baseline. Long rebound out to Weaver. York's shooting woes continue. They're 0 for 5 here in the second half.
Well, this is the zone that Gorham's in now. I would have started that way. I don't know why.
It just isn't falling.
Well, you know, when they're not falling, that's what you want. You want that other team to force them to shoot outside. Plus the fact when you're in that zone, your rebounding position is so much better.
Gorham can cut it to a 1-point game. Ward is short, and it goes off of Moon. So it remains 19-16 in favor of York. York, defending state champions, beat Ellsworth in the state championship game a year ago, 62-47. And a lot of these girls were on that team. Andrea Little, yes.
Nice pass, Joanna Brown.
Andrea Little.
First bucket of the half for York. Pushes the lead to 5. There's Jen Ward, the sophomore. Brown the steal.
Oh, nice pass.
Martell, no. Weaver the offensive rebound. McDonald will try.
York's just so much more aggressive on the boards. It's get him a lot of second shots.
Ward keeps alive at the other end. And from the wing, shot missed by Plant. They get the rebound back. Well, neither team shooting well in this ball game. Inside shot missed by Stone. Kept alive by York.
Nice outlet.
McDonald.
Well, probably did the right thing that time. Yeah, she looked like she had the easy basket, but Gorham did a good job of getting back. And, you know, you don't want to force that one. Kick it out and run your offense.
Andrea Little.
Nice follow. That's
How many times has she done that today?
That's why you follow your shot right there.
Boy, how many times has Andrea done that today? At least 3 or 4 times.
Yep. You know, you got such a better perspective when you're running in after that rebound. You can see where it's coming off, and plus you've got the momentum of the run.
York basketball off the Gorham miss.
But it's something that you don't see a lot of. A lot of kids don't follow the shots, and whether it's coaches neglecting it or for whatever reason, it's something that gets you a lot of free points.
Christine Walsh back into the game for Gorham. We also see 5'6" junior number 41 Amy Stone seeing her first action. Little from the free throw line and almost got it back.
Almost got another one, yeah.
McDonald does. Weaver draws foul.
See if we have a little better half here from the foul line for Joanna. Oh no, I'm going to the line again.
She's hoping some of those would go in, so she'll only take one free throw.
Yeah, she'll hit some. Saving them for the big game, maybe.
And Gorham calls timeout. 4:11 left, and we will do the same as York huddles up. They lead it by 7 here, 23-16.
Banking at the ocean. Banking at the ocean.
For more than 135 years, Ocean National Bank has been an independent community bank, committed to preserving the quality of life in York County. That's why money deposited in Ocean National is invested with local York County families and businesses. If you want to invest in your community, bank with Ocean National.
Banking at the ocean. Banking at the ocean.
Dave's IGA, York Village Shopping Center in York, is hometown proud. Proud to be serving their friends and neighbors the most delicious selection of fresh food items available. And to make sure you're getting the best value for your dollar, pick up Dave's IGA Super Savings Circular. The circular is available at the store every Monday morning and can be found in the York Weekly. So stop by Dave's IGA for all the great specials you've come to expect. Open 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Dave's IGA, hometown proud.
Rick Clark has had his say in the huddle. York has equaled their biggest lead at 7 points, 23-16. And Jonna Weaver at the free throw line for the Wildcats. Gorham, by the way, in 2.5 quarters is yet to take a free throw.
A little more on the foul shot. She's hit the front of the rim several times, and there was the air ball, so I think she's just got to concentrate on putting a little more in it. Bend those knees a little bit. That one hit the back.
She's got to find a happy medium now.
Right.
Unfortunately for Jonna, the team has a 7-point lead. Little runner is off the mark and rebounded by Walsh. She misses, and McDonald steps out of bounds.
Gorham could use a hoop here. Oh, nice move.
Nice little inbounds pass. Rebound controlled. And a York foul. It's going to be against Martell, and if it is...
Second, is that right?
Second or third.
Foul is on number 12, Jessica Martell.
Number 3.
Foul number 3, team foul number 2. At the line shooting 2 for Gorham, Susan Walsh.
Second against the team, Susan Walsh at the free throw line. Coaxes it in. That is Gorham's first free throw. Gorham won 4 straight state championships from 1978 to 81. Walsh makes them both. You mentioned that the Butterfield girls, I guess,
yeah,
they were called.
Yeah, there was a time when Gorham was it in girls basketball. Not really unlike York at this point. You know, you're talking dynasties. You got to look at this Wildcat club.
Well, if they can do it again this year, certainly puts them in that category. Not many teams win back-to-back state championships. Plant's shot is off the mark, and it's rebounded by the Rams.
Particularly when you, as I said before, when you consider there's a pretty young York team out there. There's someone now I'm surprised we haven't seen yet, Eric, is Tiffany Chapman, the young freshman. Oh, nice.
She's right on the bench next to Rick Clark. We may see her soon.
I just thought he might want to get her in where she is a freshman.
Byrne, a nice pass from Weaver. Boy, York's just out hustling Gorham to the ball.
That time Weaver didn't get the call, but she did the right thing by taking it to the hoop.
Forced pass inside, and this is an ugly game as we get a foul call. See who that's on.
Fouls on number 41, Amy Stone. Personal foul number
Amy
1.
Stone's
team
first.
Foul number 2.
That's the first foul of the second half for Gorham as they relax the pressure. You see the time, 2:45 left, third quarter play. 23-18 Wildcats as they begin defense of their Class B state championship.
Nice ball movement against that zone. It's the way to beat the zone. Keep the ball moving.
Foul on Julie Plant. That is her third, so 3 Gorham players now with 3 fouls. We've talked about York's dynasty, John. Been to the Western Maine final 5 times in the last 7 years. 6 in the last 10.
I know Rick Clark hates the word dynasty, but let's just say he's got one heck of a program going.
Yes. Continued success. Demaray.
He's deserved it. He's worked hard for it.
And Martell battling in a Gorham foul. And that'll go against Christine Walsh. That is her second. York has been in the Western Maine Championship in Rick Clark's reign in 83, 86, 87, 89, 90, and 92. And they've won 2 of those years in 86 and in 82, losing to Holton in 86 in the state game and beating Ellsworth last year.
Yeah, that Holton team they lost to was a heck of a team.
They won a couple championships in a row, too.
Right.
Hey, Andrea Little with the rare outside shot. Rare outside
Andrea.
Yeah, she leads all scorers in this ball game. Leads back up to 7 for York. And York will keep the basketball. Steve Twombly saving it along the sidelines there for us.
Yeah, we've still got a fairly close game here, Eric. 7 points, but the problem is Gorham's going to have to press here in a while. And I think it's going to be lights out if they do. I just don't think. I think the only chance they have is to stay in this zone. And of course, when you're down 7, the clock winding down, you just can't stay in the zone.
They've got to rebound better out of the zone is one thing.
Right.
They have to do. Not give York quite as many second chances, especially on that defensive board. Down to 1:20 left in the third quarter.
Nice move.
Only Little in traffic for 2 more.
Andrea Little.
And she is asserting herself now. She's got a dozen. Boy, they're just forcing Gorham to work very hard at getting the ball past half court.
And picking anything up that's, you know, errant passes or whatever.
Plant with a nice move. Gets it back. High off the glass. Loose ball to Demaray. Ball go to York. Johansson in for Martell. 44 seconds left.
Gorham kids are tired too. You'll see them pulling on the shorts, leaning over there when they have a break, when the ball's dead out of bounds or foul shot or something. You know, that's the other advantage of putting pressure on a team, other than picking up some turnovers, is just tiring them out.
Boy, Stone going end to end knocks Little over. And Walsh gets fouled.
Johansson.
It's hard to see the officials from
Yeah,
here. It
yeah,
is.
it is.
All right, John. 2 on Andrea Johansson and 3 on the team. York with their biggest lead, 9 points, 27-18. 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Amy Stone blocked by Byrne, and then she clears out Demaray.
See that a lot, just more of a frustration foul going over the back.
Foul is on number 41, Amy Stone.
Stone second in the team's 4th.
It's tough because it's almost a reaction. You don't even think. You just go after the ball.
And now York will wait for the final shot. 15 seconds left. Nice. Little got held. And will she go to the free throw line?
Fouls on number
She will.
24, Julie Plant. Personal foul number 4, team foul number 6.
Plant's 4th foul. Just a freshman who started this game will have to come out, and Bethany Gora back in for the Rams. Andrea Little with a big third quarter here tonight, 8 so far. But the foul shooting bug has hit the team, I think. They are now 5 for 19.
Yeah, that's something you don't want to see up here in an opener, is to have the girls worried about foul shooting.
Andrea is their best free throw shooter at 60%. And the third quarter comes to a close. York opens up what is so far the biggest lead of the ball game. They lead it by 10, 28 to 18. And on the Star Mountain Motor scoreboard, you see the score. We will be back with the final quarter right after this.
If you live in York County and want local sports coverage, nobody does it better than the Journal-Tribune. We do more local sports than anyone, and we do it better. The Journal-Tribune is in your community every day with local sports stories. Stories about your family, your friends, your neighbors, and your favorite team. Local sports, nobody does it better than the Journal-Tribune.
Takes on ice, what you see in Texas, nice. Clothing, basketball, sports stuff. Equipment that's designed for winning. Racquetball, soccer, kicking. You can score all this and more. Sports Stop.
It's the season for sports, and Sports Stop is ready. We carry a large selection of sports equipment and accessories, so you don't have to go from store to store to find what you're looking for.
Here at Sports Stop, we're game for sports. Sports Stop.
Back at the Civic Center in Augusta, Eric Nelson with John Patton on TCI of Southern Maine, bringing you all of the action here on Channel 12. Wildcats lead 28-18. Once again, a big thanks to Andrew Collar and the crew at State Cable in Augusta. So we're using their equipment for 3-camera coverage. Steve Twombly, Randy Taylor on cameras, Bob Gould doing the directing. We see some more of the fans enjoying this one. Cheap seats up there, John, I think.
Yeah. I think in this place today, I could find a better seat than that, Eric. I don't know about you.
Yeah,
It's a few empty ones.
It's just a few, and that happens on a Monday.
Fouls on number 41, Amy Stone.
And that is Amy Stone's third foul.
Actually, considering it is a Monday, there's quite a few.
Some of the York boys
here.
team, and there's Dave Stanek. I know that Rick Brault hopes that
there we go.
He's able to play on Wednesday.
Guys having some fun, huh?
Stanek in the striped shirt. And no, just not there for Jonna Weaver. As York now shooting in the bonus, so expect to see a few free throws by the Wildcats here as they are in the 1-and-1. Stone left alone for a moment.
Gorham a little out of sync, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so.
There's way out there.
Trouble spacing and finding out where they should be going. Nice move inside by Walsh.
That time,
fouled by Brown.
See, that's the type of move you got to make in the first quarter.
Foul is on number 32, Joanna Brown.
And Joanna Brown second.
Foul number 2.
And the fourth on the team as Jen Ward comes back into the ballgame for Gorham.
Susan Wall.
There's Joanna Brown, 6'1" junior. Susan Walsh at the free throw line. She has taken all of Gorham's free throws, all 3 of them.
You know, all 3 exactly the same. They front of very little arc right in the front of the rim and just rolled over with the exception of that last one. We'll see if
Just Martell.
same thing.
Back into the ball game as you just saw. And she makes 1 of 2. A low scoring third quarter of play. York outscored Gorham 9-4 in the third quarter. Nice move, Joanna Brown.
Oh,
you count it? Yes.
I do.
Lays the hand down. It's good.
Got to count that one.
Joanna Brown.
So I want to jump the gun, John. I wait for that official to drop that right hand. And he made me wait.
Personal foul number 3.
Let's see, I've got her, what, for 10 so
Joanna
far.
Brown to shoot 1.
There's Walsh's third, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
10 points for Brown. Can't get number 11. From outside.
Michelle Stone.
Michelle Stone's second bucket of the game. 30-21. York up by 9. They've led by as much as 10. Ward comes up with a loose ball.
Good hustle.
Oh, another turnover.
So you're down 9, 6 minutes left. The last thing you want to see now are turnovers. You got to start making buckets if you're going.
Going back to the man-to-man, John.
Well, I knew they'd have to do that, and I just...
McDonald missing. We'll go to Gorham.
See, if I'm coaching Gorham, I'm coming into this, I'm saying I'm going to start zone. If I have to go man-to-man, I'll go man-to-man at some point. But to do it the other way around, you can go from zone to man-to-man if you get behind, but you can't do the opposite. You can't start man-to-man, get behind, and then go zone. But I'm not sure that would make a whole lot of difference, to tell you the truth, Eric, tonight.
Ward.
Nice pass.
Into Moon, she got blocked. Here's Weaver running the break for York. Stops. Try to use some of the clock. It's in their favor.
Oh yeah, at this point, if you're York, you're just taking good shots. Don't force anything.
6 minutes left in the ball game. 9-point lead. Brown. Well, Moon's going to give it to her, and she hits it.
Joanna Brown.
She's got some range, I guess.
Well, the big girls have scored their points tonight for York. Brown with 12, Little with 13.
Well, you really, you know, if you've seen York at all this year, which we have, those are the two you got to shut down. Any team playing this club.
Ward from outside, a loose ball down to Walsh. Who's got it? And it'll be York.
If you can get either Little or Brown any kind of foul trouble early, so you can get them out of there, shut them down offensively, then you can have some success against this club.
Martell, the runner, rebounded by Walsh.
There were, what, 17 teams this year that tried and couldn't do it.
Yes.
So it's easier said than done.
It was blocked by Brown.
Nice
Walsh's
save.
attempt.
Oh, nice pass.
Weaver.
Nice.
Nope.
Weaver did a nice job just to catch that and get the shot off.
And a foul against Gorham.
Foul is on number 21, Christine Walsh. Personal foul number 4.
And Walsh is fourth.
At the line for Gorham to shoot 1. At the line for York, Joanna Brown to shoot 1-1.
Brown 2 for 4 from the line. Makes the free throw. Brown averaging 14 points a game.
Yeah, she gets a lot of her points, Eric. I alluded to in the first half, just on being aggressive and putting up second shots. You know, Little seems to be a little more part of the offense. She'll take her shots off the pass in the offense, but Brown gets an awful lot of her points just bowling the ball underneath, getting it off the glass and putting it back in.
Saw some of the crowd there just a moment ago. Boys coach Rick Brault on hand.
Molly McDonald, personal foul number 1.
Foul on McDonald.
13, foul number 5.
5th team foul. We will be here Wednesday for the regional semifinals for both of these ball clubs. Set that up for you in a little while. Ward throws up an air ball. And York with a 12-point lead. Hoping to wrap things up here.
You know, all they've got to do is be patient.
Boy, Little wide open. In and out. Well, the shooting statistics aren't going to be pretty for either team in this game.
No, but you know, considering it's the first game, I know these York girls have been up here a lot, especially with last year's performance. But you know, it is the first game. It's, you know, get it out of your system. The big thing is just come out of here with a win. Forget about the stat sheet.
The thing about York, too, John, is that they're getting quality shots. It's not like they're taking bad shots and missing them. They are taking good shots.
Look at their foul shooting percentage. They're maybe not a great foul shooting team, but they're certainly better than they've shown tonight. And as you mentioned, they've got a lot of shots that didn't drop, generally that will drop. So they're running their offense, and they're getting a lot of turnovers. So I think they played a pretty good game. And he's got a lot of girls in, too, which is important. Some good minutes. So I think if this holds up the next 4.5 minutes here, that York's got to be pretty pleased.
Okay, there's some more of the crowd. Don't forget, Channel 12, TCI of Southern Maine, will be here on Wednesday. The girls' semifinal, if York holds on and wins here against Marshwood, will be played at 2 o'clock on Wednesday the 17th. The boys' semifinal game against Oak Hill will be played at 8:45 on Wednesday. Channel 12 will be there for both of those games. And then that's it for us. That would be as far as we can go. MPBN takes over from there, and we'll do the Western Maine Championships if the York team should get that far.
When, Eric? When?
Oh, okay, when. I'm sorry. Wrong word. Not if, but when.
I'll tell you, this forecast holds true, too. I'm going to be doing those games Wednesday with about 20 minutes sleep. I'll probably sleep on the drive up.
That snow that's coming Tuesday.
Put it on cruise control and catch some Z's in the road. That could be brutal for me.
Stay on the turnpike, John.
Just get those straightaways. There's a 3.
Ward missing from outside. Joanna Brown, another rebound.
Nice.
Weaver.
Passed little too long. Held the ball just probably one dribble longer than she should have.
So York will keep the ball. 3:53 is left in the ball game. 33-21 York. Martell holding the ball.
There it is again. See Weaver cut it. Little cut across the key several times tonight.
Brown, offensive board. What do we got? We, I believe, have foul number 5 against Julie Plant.
Tough call from behind that time.
Foul is on number 24, Julie Plant. Personal foul, number 5.
Has 3 points to her credit tonight, but not a bad-looking freshman, John.
No,
to start at this level in a big game like this.
Yeah, and we didn't mention that during the entire game, but she is just a freshman, and I think we'll be seeing her again. In fact, this whole Gorham team, we've talked about York's youth. Not a lot of seniors out there for Gorham. A couple sophomores, a couple juniors.
Well, they have 3 on their roster.
3 on the roster.
Moon and Michelle Stone have played a lot. Gora a little bit, so they're going to be back.
Yeah, they should. You know, we mentioned Gorham's got a nice program, and year in and year out, they're up here.
Joanna Brown?
A little bit of an off year for them, but, you know, as I say, when you look down their roster and see they're not losing a lot of senior talent, then, you know, you've got to be pretty pleased just to get here, I think.
Brown now with 15 to surpass her season average. She leads all scorers. 35-21 York. 3.5 minutes left.
I'll tell you though, as a coach, this is big reason you coach right here, just to get up here. It's so much fun being down there.
Martell fouled by Stone. That will be Stone's 4th. When we talked about Rick Clark's success as York head coach, I've got a stat that I haven't thrown out yet. I went back, found out that Rick Clark's record over the years, now this is just regular season, 132-48.
Whoa.
733 winning percentage.
And that doesn't include when he was the JV coach, is that correct?
That's correct. Just
because he had, I would have to look this up, but I believe he had something like a 50, 60, 70 game win streak, something like that, at the JV level before he got to be varsity coach. It was some unbelief. They just never lost.
Martell makes both free throws. And you do get your wish, John. We do see Tiffany Chapman, a 5'3" freshman.
That's why I drove up here, Eric. Right here. This girl is going to be a player, I'm telling you. I only saw them, well, we did, what, three broadcasts. I saw one other game, but he's bringing them along slow. And as I've said before, if you play as a freshman for Rick Clark, you've got to have something on the ball because he doesn't bring them up too often.
No, he does not.
Little is one.
Yep.
Girl by the name of Angie Suffrage that some of the York fans might remember.
That's not too long ago, John, is it?
I still have nightmares over here. That's when I was coaching.
Stone misses a free throw, so it's 37-21 in favor of York. Lead by 16. Took them a while to pull away in this one, but they finally did. Beth Clark, number 25, a sophomore, knocks it away for Gorham. Yep, Rick Clark, an incredible record. I could find out that he does have a tournament record of 9-3 over the last 4 years. So he's been pretty successful up here.
Yeah, that's what it in itself is pretty tough. I was up here 3 years in a row, and
Joanna Brown
won a couple, but it's tough winning up here. It was for me anyway. You put the old chokeroonie in a couple times. Ooh,
that's, oh boy.
Just lower the shoulder.
Letting him play here a little bit.
Here goes
Chapman
Tiffany.
takes a spill.
She takes her first spill on the Augusta floor.
That's right. Welcome.
This girl's put in some hours on the practice floor too. We men's league down in York, Tuesdays and Thursdays. I've gone down there for years, and when this girl was about up to my knees, she was there every night with her father. An hour or two before we got there, shooting around, and it's just good to see her, you know, at this point.
Boy, Joanna Brown is on fire here. She's got 19 and 10 in the fourth quarter. There's Lindsay Plastead, number 10, almost stole a ball. She's into the ball game, 5'6" junior. So expect Rick Clark to go to his bench here with 2:18 left and a 20-point York lead. For the first time, we see Rachel Curran, number 31, a 5'8" sophomore for Gorham. So they have kept Gorham in single digits in every quarter tonight, John.
Well, as you said, it wasn't so much a matter if, it's just a matter when they were going to pull away in this. And, you know, give Gorham some credit. They hung tough for a while.
Chapman, no. Boy, she's a good outside shooter.
Yeah, she is an excellent outside. Real dangerous from three-point range.
Joanna Brown. We're running out of room on our score sheets here. She's having herself a career and a quarter.
The foul is on number 44, Betsy Moon. Personal foul, number 5.
Just a junior.
Fifth on Moon.
Joanna Brown.
Well, you talked about it. No one likes to look to next year too much, but it's hard not to, John. It's going to be scary next year.
I just keep thinking of Brown and Little as seniors. You know, I keep looking down and it says 11 in the book, and scary.
Brown at the free throw line for possible three-point play. She's got it, and they have more than doubled up on Gorham here. They lead 44-21, and Joanna Brown substituted.
Yeah, good move in getting her out.
She's out for the game.
No sense in taking an unnecessary chance at this point. You got this one salted away. Give your younger kids some court time and rest her up for the next one.
22 unofficially for Joanna Brown in the ball game, as Eliza Brown has come in for the Wildcats, 5'10" sophomore, number 14, and also number 22, 5'5" senior Nicole DeForge. And Rick Clark has brought up some younger girls also for
nice pass.
varsity. Chapman dishing to Brown.
Oh,
yes.
Pretty offense there.
Lisa Brown.
Eliza Brown with a basket. Little to steal. Nice dish inside. Basket's good by DeForge.
Oh, that's good basketball there. Nice break.
Well, for a senior who doesn't play a lot, John, it's awfully nice to get a basket on the Civic Center floor. 48-21. Stay with Gorham.
Amy Stone, she has a tendency just to lower that shoulder and head for the hoop, doesn't she?
Andrea Little checks out of the game with 13.
Great all-around game, too. She does so many things other than score. Just keeping the ball alive on the rebounds, defensively outstanding.
Sam Demaray back
There's
in.
the three.
Chapman, no. 35 seconds left. She almost got it back.
Tiffany will take it, though. She's a lot of confidence. And in fact, I saw the Kennebunk game. They're real close one at the end. They ended up losing. Rick Clark insert Tiffany into the game when he needed the three.
Traveling violation, 19.2 seconds left. York headed to the semifinals.
Against Marshwood, a team they beat twice.
Chapman draws the foul.
You know, that one, they say it's always tough to beat a team 3 times in a season, but they handled them the first game in early December, 63-50, and later on beat them again 49-35. 2 pretty handy wins, and York's pretty much owned Marshwood in the last few years.
They knocked him off as the number 1 seed a couple of years ago.
That's right.
7 seconds left. Stone. That's the ball game. York with a convincing 48-21 victory over Gorham, a 27-point win as they held Gorham to quarters of 8, 6, 4, and 3. So certainly the York defense playing extremely well to make up for what was a very cold shooting night.
Yeah, well, you know, the defense that's something you can control. Your offense, sometimes it's going to be there, sometimes it isn't. And if you're a good defensive team, and I think the York boys are as good an example of that as anything, if you're playing the good defense, you're going to be in all of your games, and you're going to have a real good opportunity to win them. And I think York tonight, that's what they had. They didn't have a good offensive night shooting-wise, but you know, they just created so much havoc on the defensive end that they come out with a win.
Okay, so York will play number 3 Marshwood in the semifinals at 2 o'clock on Wednesday the 17th. Channel 12 will be there. Very quickly, the scoring summary. Susan Walsh led Gorham with 7. Michelle Stone had 4. Julie Plant and Jen Ward with 3. Christine Walsh and Susan Westerbrook with 2. For the Wildcats, Joanna Brown led all scorers with 22. Andrea Little with 13. Jonna Weaver with 6. Jessica Martell and Liza Brown with 2, and Samantha Demaray with 1. So both the York boys and girls make it to the Western Maine semifinals, and Channel 12 will be there, and we certainly hope that you are there to join us. It should be a very fun day on Wednesday.
I'll be here.
Okay.
Just keep the snow off.
Glad to hear it, John. All right. That's going to wrap up our coverage here from the Civic Center in Augusta. Once again, thanks for joining us. A final look at the Star Mountain Motors scoreboard tells us that York defeats Gorham in this quarterfinal round game 48-21. For the entire crew and John Patton, I'm Eric Nelson. Good night.